everybody, my name is Chef Nati Toro. I'm a plant-based chef and nutritionist, and today I have a delicious and very nutritious snack that I'm sure you all have seen or tried at the supermarket, and is one of my favorite snacks, and it's kale chips. So in order for us to make the kale chips, obviously we need kale. And because we're gonna use the oven to crisp it up today, it's gonna make it super crispy, delicious, almost, but not quite, but almost like a potato chip. So here's all of the ingredients we're gonna use for the sauce, and I'm sure you've seen this recipe with cashews, but I love sunflower seeds. And the reason why is because they have a lot more protein than cashews. They have little to no fat. They make it a little bit more creamy, and because they're a seed, they're a lot more easier to digest. So I have about a cup of soaked sunflower seeds. I have some filtered water, some nutritional yeast, and I'm sure you've seen this before, and if you're not familiar with it, it's basically dehydrated yeast. It has that nutty, cheesy flavor to it, and that's what's gonna make this sauce extra special. Then we have some lemon juice, some turmeric, also anti-inflammatory, and I love turmeric in powder form, but if you wanna use just the actual root for it and blend it, that's completely fine. I like spicy kale chips, so I'm gonna use a little bit of cayenne pepper, and we're using some mustard. Also, it's gonna give a nice balance and contrast to the nutritional yeast, and obviously a little bit of salt. So we're gonna blend all of these ingredients, and we're gonna massage our kale, and that's probably the most important part, so that when we have them nice and crispy, they're all consistent and they're delicious. And guys, this recipe, along with a couple more, I just published my first ebook, and it's on my website, so I encourage you to go to natitoro.com and download the ebook. It's free, has like super delicious recipes that are close to my heart, and you're gonna find this recipe there with all the ingredients, all the steps, and all the measurements. So into our blender, we're gonna add our cup of sunflower seeds. Then I'm gonna skip to the water. We're gonna add the water as we go. So our nutritional yeast, and again, be as creative as you want, and it's all about your flavor, your palate, whatever you like. When it comes to the kitchen, experiment. If you don't like, sunflower seeds, then just add the cashews, or even use macadamia nuts. It might be a little bit more expensive, but if it's your flavor profile, go for it. Lemon juice, you can also use lime. We're adding turmeric, cayenne pepper, and my favorite, Dijon mustard. We're adding those on here. And I'm gonna start with I have a third of a cup here. I'm gonna start with a fourth of a cup. You don't want this sauce to be super runny, but also not chunky. So you want a perfect consistency, and I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. So I'm gonna add about a fourth. I still have a little bit in here. Back into our blender. Put the lid on and blend away. So we're gonna scrape down to the sides, and we're gonna add the rest of the water. Oh my God, guys, this smells delicious. So yummy. Okay, I'm gonna add the rest, and I might even need a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, let's check this. I think we have our consistency. We're gonna scrape this down one last time. Super yummy, very cheesy. Okay, we have our kale chips ready to be made. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt, and I'm gonna move it around. I'm not gonna crush them too much as if I was gonna make a salad, because I don't wanna break too much on the fiber. I wanna keep the consistency of the kale so that when they crisp up, they still have that texture and that form. And we're gonna add our sauce. I'm gonna use my spatula to help me go down here. And you can make it as saucy as you want. If you have leftover of this sauce, you can use it for a lot of other things. This is where you wanna get your hands dirty. And then you just get your hands in there. Oh my God, this is so relaxing. You can do this with kids. They will love it because they want to get their hands dirty. So this with sauce and they can eat it. So this is one of the tips I give a lot of people is play with your food, have your kids help you, because that way they will, whatever they see and they play with, they're more likely to eat it. So don't be afraid of like getting them all dirty. I know sometimes the cleaning can be messy, but again, you want them to eat more healthy foods, you have to get them to help you in the kitchen. Now we're just gonna transfer our kale chips into our sheet pan. Remember, our oven is at 350 and we're gonna have our kale chips on there for about 20 to 30 minutes, I'll say. Another tip, you don't wanna crowd the kale on top of each other, otherwise it won't bake evenly and you might have a soggy kale and that's not so much fun. Okay, so they're ready. They're gonna go in the oven at 350 for about 20 to 30 minutes and I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands right now. So now my kale chips are done. They're crispy, delicious. They were actually in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes. So I want you guys to hear this for 1 second. Look at this. Yum, yum, yum. I can't wait. So this ones, again, you can transfer them into a mason jar, keep them airtight, and they will last you more or less 3 to 5 days. You can make a huge batch of this and keep them in there. And again, I'm sure once you try one, you wanna eat them all at once. They're so good. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you again for another recipe. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to all my social media channels. I am going to be here snacking all afternoon eating these delicious kale chips. And don't forget to head over to my website, natitoro.com, for the ebook where it includes this recipe and many more. See you guys later.